Marques Lost to time. International. One of the most interesting forgotten automakers in American history. International helped create the small utility vehicle long before it became popular with vehicles like the Bronco or the Blazer. And they were building early SUVs like the Travelall before SUVs were even a cultural thing. But International didn't actually start as a car company. It started with farming. On August 12, 1902, International Harvester was formed from a merger between the McCormick Harvesting Machine Company, the Deering Harvester Company, and several smaller agricultural manufacturers. At the time, farming in America was booming, and farmers needed equipment to keep up with growing demand. International built tractors, harvesters, and heavy machinery for the American farm. But transportation was changing too. Farmers had been improvising vehicles for years. Some people modified trucks, others converted cars like the Model A by removing their rumble seat and turning the back into a workbed. But there was still a gap in the market, something smaller than a truck, but more practical than the old military Jeeps left over from World War II. And that's where International stepped in. In 1961, International introduced the Scout, a rugged, small utility vehicle designed for farms, work crews, hunters, and anyone who needed something that could go almost anywhere. The Scout was simple, tough, and incredibly capable. And in many ways, it helped define the modern SUV before the term SUV even existed. International also built the Travelall, a truck-based utility wagon that could carry families or work crews long before vehicles like the Suburban became mainstream. But if the Scout was so good, why did it disappear? And the answer wasn't the vehicle, it was the company. By the late 1970s, International Harvester was struggling financially. A massive labor strike, rising costs, competition across multiple industries put enormous pressure on the company. To survive, International made a difficult decision. They exited the passenger vehicle market and focused on commercial trucks and heavy equipment. The last Scout rolled off the assembly line in 1980, and with it, International left the world of consumer automobiles. The company still exists today, but under a different name, Navistar. So the next time you see an old Scout or a Travelall, you're not just looking at an old truck, you're looking at a piece of a mark lost to time.